really cool.
Yeah.
Kevin Eastman, ladies and gentlemen.
You might have heard of a little drawing that he did about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Something with frogs.
Just threw this thing together, didn't he?
Yeah, no big deal.
You know, people always ask if they're smoking and drinking at the time.
Yeah. What were you smoking at drinking at the time? And then it changed.
I guess that we were told that we're just basically going to, we have no moderator, we're just going to open this up to questions, right? We're just going to do a large Q&A unless you had something, Jeff, that you wanted to.
I have like a 30-minute spiel I could do, just grab it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's great. Any stuff?
You go ahead.
Kevin, talk about me, please. Talk about your favorite turtle.
First, I just want to say that it's the 30th anniversary of Turtles, 30 years. And the first thing I'd like to point out is it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you,
so awesome.
Thank you. No, I can't believe it's like, we've done about 20 shows this year, my wife and I, and it's like, the reception is overwhelming, heartwarming, I feel honored, I feel blessed, I feel unworthy, but you guys are the best, and I really appreciate all the support and all the love you've given us over the years, and it's been an absolute joy to have worked on so many awesome turtle projects, especially with so many talented people to help bring that characters to life. And I mean, I still remember when we were working on the first 5 cartoon episodes, which we were just talking about, and it's like, what do they sound like? We never, we had voices in our head of what they sound like, and then these guys made the magic happen. It's like, once we heard the voices, we were like, this is what the turtles sound like. And
I need to hear a little of that.
Raphael here. Shredder! You tin-faced geek! Get back here and taste cold turtle steel!
Dudes, I gotta tell you that my favorite pizza is anchovy and hot fudge!
And as the leader of the group, I think at least 4 times in every episode I would say, we gotta think of something fast! Yeah, lay off, Leo.
I don't have a catchphrase. Never did. You know, I'm just tinkering around in the lab.
Doing machines.
So that's my job, and that's what I do. And then these guys, are great pieces. And also, I don't have a voice. It's just my voice. So that's it.
Kevin, this right in the front row is exactly what we're talking about. Madam, would you please look at this? This is great. This beautiful woman, right?
No babies were injured in the making of this pants.
That's exactly.
He's so adorable.
Thank you so much.
This is how generational.
That's precisely what we were talking about at lunch, is what Kevin and Peter created is so unique and so unusual that's like another generation removed. I mean, it's astonishing what you did, man.
It's the 17th generation of turtle fans. I remember not 6 when we started this whole thing.
It was 1784 when we created this.
So Kevin, I've got to ask a question because I haven't really sat down and asked you this question. How did you ever come up with this? How did you and Peter ever come up with this?
Let me adjust my Depends and I'll tell you the story. No, it was, Peter and I grew up as absolutely huge fans of comic books. Our hero in comics storytelling was a guy named Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby, if you don't know, helped create most of the Marvel Universe. My favorite Jack Kirby comic was one called Commandy. It was Commandy, the last boy on Earth. And where I grew up in this small town of Maine, I really felt like I was the last boy on Earth because I read comic books, I was was just this huge geek, and that was my dream, was to be Jack Kirby. And when I met Peter Laird, we shared the same dream, and we literally started working together right away. And so we formed a studio called Mirage Studios, and it was a mirage because it was our living room in this small town of Dover, New Hampshire. And I used to say, Pete would watch the worst TV shows in the world. He'd watch TJ Hooker and 18, and I felt it was my job to annoy him as much as possible while he was watching his favorite shows. So one night in November, I did this sketch, and I sort of thought to myself, imagine if Bruce Lee was an animal character. What's the dumbest animal you could imagine? A turtle. Came to mind right away. And so I did the sketch of Michelangelo was the first turtle ever drawn. And so I did this funny sketch of this turtle standing upright. He had nunchucks strapped to his arms, and he had a mask on, and I kind of put it on his desk, and I said, this is the next big thing. Ha ha ha. And he loved it, of course, and we were laughing. And the studio, one upmanship, he did a drawing, he changed some things, improved some things. So then I had to top his drawing, so I did this sketch with 4 turtles, each with different weapons. I had this kind of comic book logo on the top that said Ninja Turtles, and I did it in pencil, and when he inked it in, he had a Teenage Mutant. And we were just like, oh man, this is the dumbest thing we've ever seen. And so we literally got up the next morning, and as I love to say, we didn't have any distracting pain more going on. And so we said, look, let's come up with an idea. Let's come up with a story of how these characters got to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we're not going to send it out as to Marvel or DC anything. This is ours. We love it. We're just going to publish it ourselves. So I have a $500 income tax return. We cleaned out all $200 in Pete's bank account. I borrowed $1,000 from my uncle, and we had enough to print 3,000 comic books. And we were so sure, after we got them printed, and this was April of 1984, that we wouldn't sell one single copy, that we actually made furniture out of the boxes of books that came back from the print. We had a coffee table and an end table and all that stuff. And then to our surprise and our parents' surprise, we thought we were going to be living the rest of our life in their basement. Well, he likes comic books and he's a little weird. He lives in the basement, and we throw down food every once in a while. Pizza. And so that was really the origin. And it's funny. When we did the first comic book, it wasn't until we did actually the second issue of the Turtles, when we got the orders from the distributors. We went from 3,000 comic books on book 1 to 15,000 comic books on book 2. And I remember Pete calling me and going, we got 15,000 comic books ordered. Do you know if we print 6 issues a year, we'll make about $2,000 each per issue. We can pay our rent, we can eat all the macaroni and cheese we want, and we can draw comic books for a living. And that to me is always when the dream came true for both of us, because we were now living the dream of our hero, Jack Kirby. We were actually drawing comic books for a living, and it was just, I can remember out of so many fantastic things that happened over these 30 years with the Turtles, that's still the moment that you guys gave me the greatest job ever, and 30 years later, I'm still drawing Turtles for a living. I want to say two things. One is when these guys came in. When we started working on the first Turtle comic book came out in 1984. We started working on the first animated series. I think it was late 86, 87. The first series came out in Christmas holiday break. We did 5 episodes. And, working on the different colored bandanas, the personalities, working with the voice talents, and seeing all these things come together. And Pete and I were still absolutely positive, nobody's going to put this on the air. This is just, I can't believe you sold the comic book. Who's going to put this on the air? It wasn't until we saw it in a TV guide, like, holy crikey, this thing's actually going to be on TV. And
That's as far as that was.
that was it. And,
Maybe we never.
and your fault, you ended up watching it, and we started doing, so it was like between Christmas and New Year's, the first episodes came out, and my other favorite early on story, if I want to talk about the movie, because that was such a fantasy, was when those first toys came out in 1988. KB Toys was the big toy store chain at the time. And we heard the toys are shipped and they were in stores, and so Pete and I drive from Northampton, Massachusetts out to Springfield, and we're walking through the toy store, was the action figure aisle. Just as we get there, there's this mom dragging this young boy out of the action figure aisle going, no, I'm not buying you one of those stupid Ninja Turtles. And we were like, immediately like, oh my God, what have we done? So then the shows aired that fall, and it was a huge success. The animation was a huge success, and immediately bringing in other shows. I want each of you guys to tell us some personal stories about that. But then when I met Judith, it was amazing because everybody said, "Well, we've done toys, comic books. The next thing is a movie." We're like, "This is going to be impossible. How do you actually?" It was. You can see how it worked from comic book to animation and toys, but how are we going to make this a live-action movie? We'll enter in Steve Barron, first of all, who's the most awesome director in the world yet. He did Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, Michael
Big
James' video, Take On Me. And he brought in Todd Langdon to write the script, and then, okay, who's going to bring these characters to life and enter the incredible Jim Henson and the Creature?
Yeah.
And I still remember we first met with so it was like, okay, we've seen pictures, we've seen the sculptures, we've seen some of the tests. When we went down to Wilmington, we were shooting North Carolina. I remember going from the front office to the back lot, and it was like, the back lot is all staged, and it looks like a construction site that's about ready to collapse. And it was a night shoot, and I turned the corner, and Pete and I, and there's New York City lit up beautifully, wonderfully, spectacularly. We walk around this other corner, and there's all four turtles in full costume. Michelangelo's got a sombrero on, he's dancing, and stuff. You know, Judith's running around, Steve's running around, everybody's lighting this and that, and there's foot ninjas, and it was the most mind-blowing thing you could ever imagine in your life. And, beyond, it was like, I still think about it, it gives me goosebumps. But, so let's talk to some of the animation guys about some of their early experiences, and then Judith, we talked about, we were just talking about.
I have a question for you. Was that your first movie? Was it your first movie?
No, it was my third movie, but I was shooting a movie at the same time. And actually, I was cast in Ninja Turtles, and it didn't look like the two movies were going to work out.
No.
And then it ended up
Well,
being it worked out.
and you and Elias Mateus, right?
Yeah, Elliot. Yeah.
Talk about what careers you guys have had. I mean, did they ever pick some kick-ass actors?
I love this man.
Oh, no,
I mean, I flat out.
and you've continued to work. And,
Oh, yeah.
And Barry was talking about Nashville, you know, and Elias. I was just watching Elias on The Killing.
Yeah, yeah.
What an actor!
He's an amazing
Oh, my
actor.
God.
He's an amazing actor. He was a tremendous amount of fun to work with. And at that time, when his hair was long,
Yeah,
he was such a dead ringer for Robert De Niro.
he was.
He really did. And there were moments where I just think we need to do a movie together. But yeah, that was a pretty special experience.
No, that was, I remember the first one I saw him when we were shooting the night scene in the park, Raphael, and he was so worried to meet me because he said, "I'm not doing a good job, I don't see it." And I was literally thought, this is Robert De Niro's telling me he can't do a good Casey Jones. And I said, "Dude, you're fantastic." Every sense of the word. And it was like,
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
but I was telling Judith, she hasn't done very many comic book shows, and I've done a lot of them over these years. And
This is my first.
This is great.
As of yesterday, I was a virgin.
But I always tell her that, so many fans discovered the Turtles from the original cartoon series, and over the years we've done many different versions of the Turtles, and when people ask me what my favorite version of the Turtles, favorite interpretation of all of these worlds, and when I ask the fans the same question, most people say the first Turtle movie. Because it married the original black and white comic books with the animated show so perfectly. Uh-oh, what's coming down the aisle? Don't look now.
We need to put you all together.
Wow.
We're going to have each of the voice actors do an arm wrestling thing.
Well, it'll be kind of like shooting the movie because when we shot the movie, we had actors who were in the suits, and then we had puppeteers who were off to the side, and so you could hear the voice of the puppeteer coming from over there, but there was also the voice of the actor, so sometimes it was a little bit confusing. And then when I saw the movie for the first time, it was totally different voices.
Stand by your turtle.
Raphael here. This is gonna be a Twitter, this is gonna blow up Twitter.
This is crazy.
I think we might get a few pictures out of this. Judith and I would just look bad.
Somebody send me a copy of this, okay? Really?
7.
There you go.
Okay, Last Supper, guys. You're Jesus.
All this,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Jesus. There's a sequel.
This is a weird digger.
all this with no chemical inducement.
Yeah, got a little Ninja Turtle up here. You look at me. This is Reed. I think Reed, you're about 7, 8. He's 8. He's awesome and 8.
What's so great about this, we've got Rob Paulson, who was Raphael, of course, on our original series, but also Donatello
On the new series.
on the new next series here.
Oh, this is so unbelievable. This is like a fever dream.
This is Twilight
You
Zone.
guys are
I mean, can I just tell you, this is exceptional. So,
Yeah.
so the bar is really high for you now, honey.
Yeah, it only goes downhill from here.
Oh, shoot. So I guess we have to just travel in a pack.
Yes. This is so great. Oh my God, I just love you guys so much.
Please come back next year!
We're just staying here.
I just want to bask in this. This is so
Wait, did you guys work at the conference? Did you have a picture of this by any chance? Did you get some?
Oh, we have. Yeah, the worst
Because
part.
I'm a real fan of the turtles.
Yeah.
One of the last comic book shows I did, somebody.
Hey guys, I just have one request. Can you guys all together sing Cowabunga for us, please?
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. We are not worthy.
Goodbye, turtles.
That's cool stuff. They can only draw by.
Listen to you.
I want to see him wield those nunchucks.
Yeah.
He's like nasty.
You know, one of the last comic shows I did, a fan came up and asked me to do a sketch of the turtles in the last supper. I'm like, seriously?
Anybody want to raise some hands?
Yes, I think there's a microphone right there. If anybody has any questions or something, or?
2 right up front.
'Cause otherwise, we're just going to make fun of each other.
Yeah.
Okay, don't be shy.
Go on, ask the question you know you want to.
Yeah, take the mic to you.
Hey guys, I met all of you before except for you, Mr. Kevin Eastman. Thank you for coming out to Alamo City Comic Con.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me up here. It's been absolutely fantastic.
It's really great to have you here. And I did not get a chance to meet the original Donatello. Thank you for coming out here. It's very happy.